Welcome back to the second hour of 8-Bits version 2.6. We talked about what we've been playing. Where are we? There we are. Talk about what we've been playing, and now we kind of visit some of the news that's been popping out this week, JP, and open up the phone lines to our lovely viewers out there. There are not only some video game topics to discuss this week, but also some Twitch news and discussion that has been coming up lately. One of them obviously being with the ban of a prominent streamer, Towley, that brings a lot of attention to the Twitch terms of service and some of the actions and responsibilities of streamers on Twitch. And so, us being Twitch broadcasters as well, I also am obviously a Twitch employee, and I have my own thoughts and opinions there. But as a streamer, I also, have thoughts and opinions about all this. But this has been a pretty big topic, as I also noticed that it popped up in not only the Twitch subreddits, but even in the game subreddit, etc. So, for those that don't know, just the quick and dirty is that Towley's channel is now back. He was streaming just this morning. The channel is temporarily closed, we understand. And the information that we have available, like on the Twitch subreddit, is that because of some contests and potentially due to an individual reporting him, it was closed. Whatever has happened seems to have been resolved. I don't necessarily have any information as far as that's concerned. But, again, it's then rippled down through and has put a lot of spotlight and attention on, giveaways, which has kind of always been a big part of Twitch and what streamers do. So, JP, I mean, to start us off, like, what'd you think of all this news kind of as it came out?
Yeah, it was, I think it happened Tuesday is when it went down. I remember finishing South Park at about noon or something like that, and Tally, I follow him, I keep up with him. He was going to work out or whatever. A couple hours later, he tweeted, we'll be back when we can, or something like that. He was not really talking too much about it, because I'm sure he didn't want to talk too much about it, right?
Right.
His channel was banned at that point. I couldn't really figure out why exactly. There was a lot of speculation as to what happened. He ended up posting a video about it last night. It's about an 18-minute video over on his YouTube that goes into a pretty good detail on what exactly went down. And what it really results in is just that someone always has to take the fall, right? There's always someone that something has to happen to set precedent for everyone else. And I'm sure that there's going to be other channels that fuck up in the future that either don't know or don't care. And if they don't care, then they probably should be banned regardless. But what it really results in is a lot of people were upset with Twitch, as they thought Twitch were the ones doing it. They thought that Twitch was like the ones that banned him.
Right.
But it was actually the fact that Twitch can't be liable for something like this, and they can't have any blame on themselves.
Right. I mean,
and that's like the biggest thing to note is that Twitch is, as a service, all they offer is the ability to have subscribers and have a subscriber button on a channel. It's up to the broadcaster to do whatever he wants, and I think that's what you guys are reinforcing. You posted a blog today, and I was expecting to go into more detail maybe about what happens and what's good and what's bad. But it really comes down to the fact that that's not on you guys. It's up to the broadcaster, the individuals that stream, to be able to know what terms of service, what's right and wrong, and also to probably get some fucking legal counsel on a lot of this shit.
I mean, and like we're not here to debate or point blame or anything like that. Really, it's more to me, JP, about the importance of education, because as people found out, and I'm speaking as a streamer here, okay? I mean, I take my Twitch hat for a moment. Like, speaking of there's probably several other things that are happening that are in violation of the terms of service. And as you said, like in this case, Towley ended up becoming the example. But really, the terms of service was was sort of in place. I think there's been some modifications because now there's subscribers as a part of it as well. But,
Right.
in all of this, I think there's a lot of common sense that just has to be applied in a lot of scenarios. I admittedly, as a streamer, I probably was not fully educated on the rules of all the rules and what is right and wrong. And so, you're right. It's up to the streamer to be responsible. In all of this, I did kind of begin to reflect a little bit about some of the activity that was going on, JP, because for me, how this affects me is subscriber giveaways, because
Right. We all do it. Every person that has a sub button, it's a great way to drive subscribers.
It's not only a great way to drive subscribers, but I feel like a lot of the guys that sub to me are guys that have been around for years. They always seem to be there when the channel's on. To me, that's how can I reward them? And I know that there's a lot of people that right now are that's gone now. And I'm just going to, I will put my foot down and boldly state that for me, it's not. And here's what I mean is that the terms of service says that I can't conduct this through Twitch, but these guys are still my subscribers. And so, whether it's in an email or something that's it, it's not on Twitch. So, I think that in some aspects you have to creatively think about, following the rules and how you're going to do that. Now, I'm not suggesting you just go bend the rules, because as JP said, the best thing you could do is just get a lawyer just to make sure you're doing everything within the boundaries that wouldn't get you in trouble for anything. But I don't think that this is necessarily a massive blow, overall. I think that I think that it will evolve the way that channels sort of do things and think about these types of things, and that's okay, because it's important for the ecosystem. But going back to my original point, JP, is that I do have to say, as much as I respect Towley, respect a lot of the other guys that make pretty much Twitch their full-time job and try to, personally, I have a really hard time with the whole raffle thing concept to begin with. And so for me, I'm kind of glad, even as a streamer, to kind of see that gone, because I'm not a huge fan of sort of, I mean, dude, frankly, I just feel like it's a little dirty, it's not.
It's a little, I think someone in the chat says it's very legally gray. That's my favorite PC term I've read about it. That's what it is. On one hand, it's a great way to drive people to your channel and to get subscribers, but on the other hand, at the same time, it's a little bit legally gray.
Yeah, I mean, and every streamer does it themselves, but the whole
I've totally done it before.
I mean, the subculture. I guess the subculture that has duplicated around Twitch with the concept of donations and things, I just that's something that I just don't know about, that's to me, I wonder if that's kind of the next thing. I guess more than anything, JP, I want to encourage people that they shouldn't look at that and see all of that and these activities as a legitimate way to make a career.
Right.
Just think about if you have to say to someone that a portion of your income is based off of donations, what happens in 5 years, or what happens if, people start figuring out, is that really legit? I don't know. It's a much deeper and broad topic, and everyone has their own philosophies on it, but
right. I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, exactly. And get legal counsel.
I think I was talking to or talking in a chat the other day, and I think I repeated this to you as well. If you are a Twitch streamer who is that is your living, that is your main job is a streamer or a YouTuber, if you don't have a lawyer by now, or you don't have someone you can go to for legal counsel, holy shit, do immediately, because there's probably a billion and one things that you're doing somewhere on your channel that is pretty borderline illegal on so many different levels. Like I ended up doing that back in, I think it was like October, and I remember having the conversation, and I think I actually messaged you the same day where I was just like, that was the hardest call I've ever had, because it was a guy who I was paying, and he told me that everything I was doing was actually so wrong on so many ways, and that at any moment I could have someone come and just destroy my entire livelihood.
Yeah.
Whether it's, they could just go in on my YouTube and say like, who do you own this music? Like, oh no, I got it from this guy that made it for me. It's just a fan. It's like, well, do you have legal
Rights to
like,
you, right?
do you have legal rights to use the music? It's like, oh no, it's just fan made music. Don't worry about it. And he was just like, no, that's not how it works. Like you're totally fucking up. You have to get that off your channel right now, or someone could just come in and destroy your entire life. So it's so important for broadcasters to realize that. And I fucked up in the longest time for not realizing that. I think it's just something that as time passes on and as Twitch gets bigger, everyone's going to have to look at what they're doing and make sure and put it under a microscope and make sure that you're not fucking up.
Yeah.
Because eventually something like this will happen to someone, and it'll set a precedent for everything else. Like I think we're just going to see more and more of this. And it even goes as far as like using music that you don't own, that's playing from Pandora, which, to be honest, 10 hours ago I was doing. Like I shouldn't do that on my channel. I know that. But I guess I don't care at certain points. It's so easy to just pop on music.
Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah,
it's
blah,
so easy
blah.
to pop on music and go to a break and then come back and turn it off. And then you realize, like, I should actually be paying those people royalties for like millions of dollars.
It's one of these things that on one hand, change sucks always. But on the other hand, like, I really want to see legitimacy come to this. I think it's important for the growth of it. As it gets larger, the worst thing that could happen is right now all of this shit is growing and growing and growing. And over the last 3 months, think about Twitch Plays Pokemon. How many new people that have never, ever, ever been on Twitch before fucking came here somehow through Twitch Plays Pokemon and maybe went off to other areas? As this all begins to grow, and as people, the worst thing that could happen is like for it to grow, and then all these problems arise that cause problems with this growth. I mean, for individual streamers, for teams, etc. So I think it is important for for people to start thinking about legitimacy now. Totally. owning, like you said, having legal counsel, owning the rights to your artwork and stuff, just making sure that you've got your ass covered. That's and using common sense, guys.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I'm glad to see Tally back. I watch a stream almost at least once a week, if not every day. Just pop it on and tune into it. I think he's streaming right now. And he's very open about everything. Like I said, the video covers everything about what happened. So sucked that it happened to him. Sucked that he was offline for 4 days, but I'm glad he got everything back and how it was before he left.
Yep. All right, other video game news. So you guys know, just keeping track. You call it the alpha tracker, if you will. But Blizzard had the interview where they talked about the technical alpha of Heroes of the Storm. The rumor mills that are turning say sometime this month is a big possibility, and we've talked about it plenty last week. But just keeping you updated, I think that's just what the rumor mills have said. Last of Us movie, JP.
Yeah, I saw that. Did they say anything about it?
So here's what they got.
Or is it just we're doing a Last of Us movie?
Sony making a Last of Us movie. Naughty Dog creative director Neil Druckmann to write the script. Spider-Man director Sam Raimi attached to the project in some capacity.
That's a little interesting.
Here's my thoughts.
Sam Raimi's the best guy for that.
If you tell the story of The Last of Us, is it a good movie?
Maybe. I honestly, I think what they would take from The Last of Us would be Joel and Ellie, and that's probably it. probably like the overarching story and maybe the ending. But I think the entire story up to that is completely different. Maybe it's as brutal as it was in the game, but like I could very well see the sequence is when you play as Ellie towards the end in winter, before you guys end up going to the big ending. I could see that being the ending of a movie, but it doesn't really fulfill the entire character path that Ellie and Joel take within the game. I have no idea. It feels a little bit lame, maybe, that they are using Ellie and Joel in that way. But we'll see what happens. I mean, who knows with these Hollywood adaptions? Who knows?
Yeah, I gotta say I'm a bit on the fence for this one, because bringing these characters to life is something I'd love to see, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they just take the characters and sort of give a different story, but anyway, it's coming. People's.
Yeah, that'll be weird. I honestly think that we'll start to see more of that. Like, games these days are actually approaching, or sorry, have already surpassed those of what movies do in the world of storytelling. So I think you'll see a lot more crossovers in the future that are actually good, that start out as games and become movies.
Right.
And it's probably like after comic books, which right now seem to be the big thing. It's probably what comes after that in terms of what Hollywood decides to take into the movie world.
You're right. And we know that they've done it and failed before. Very few successes.
Yeah, I mean, I love Super Mario Brothers as much as the next guy. But
oh, God. All right, how about this Watch Dogs news, dude?
So I have... What is the actual news? Was it
there's
news that
two
it's coming
things
out?
of news. Number one, I think they released a new trailer, and in this trailer, they released a release date. So,
yeah.
Watch Dogs release date is now officially May 27th for Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3, PC. The Wii U version is coming later. Sorry, all those that were holding out for that one. Now, what's interesting is some folks over on the NeoGAFs have started up some different threads, and one of them.
This is what I saw.
Which one? The
images.
Okay,
right?
So this first image, what I want to show you
is that legit, or is that like Photoshop?
So no, what you're seeing here on this GIF, I'm gonna tell you before, just so that you know what you're looking at. When you see the red car, that's from the E3 2012 footage. When you see the orange car, that's from March 2014. The question is like, then it brings up okay, we're obviously not getting the product that we all thought we were going to get. So once again, red car, previously, here it is. That's what we saw originally, and we're like, JP, I'm just, and then all of a sudden, like, wait, what is it? Did they switch game? Like,
I don't know, man. Like, part of me wonders if that happened because, like, it looks so it looks like I'm watching an N64 game of Cruising USA when it goes to the second image. It looks terrible.
You want to know it's funny? Aside from this GIF that's also in here, is someone posted another GIF. Again, these were all from the original reveal, where we're just like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
The second set, the ones that are those coming from the trailer?
Oh shit! What's that?
Are those coming from the trailer?
No, those were from original. That's from the reveal. The second pair of images.
So the trailer that came out 2 days ago, that's where they're pulling these images from, right?
Yes, that's where they pulled this orange car from.
God, man, I hope that's like a it's coming out on 360 and
it is, and I know that's what some other people said in the thread, but
like there's no way it could look that bad. It looks terrible. It looks fucking god awful.
I mean, I went down in the thread a little bit. They obviously left it in the oven too long.
Yeah, I
They
saw.
were saying that this is from the PS4, Xbox One footage.
I don't
But
know.
I
Maybe the footage from E3 was PC that was under a
No,
heavy.
they said PS4 version.
Man, it looks like fucking shit.
It just looks like obviously there's lighting effects that were not going to be achieved.
And maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why they had the delay. Is they realized that they couldn't do any of this shit when they actually put it on disc or something. I don't know. I think there's with this coming out and also with the news of the delay that happened a couple months back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone posted, "Can't wait to see what the Division actually looks like with this screenshot."
Yeah. The Division released some screenshots as well the other day.
God, the Division looks so sexy, and I don't want that to happen. But you got to remember,
I don't
Watch
either.
Dogs. They revealed this shit back in 2012.
Yeah, man. I hope it was.
I mean,
I hope
if you watch
it
the
looks
trailer, JP, there's still some cool ass shit in it.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that
It doesn't look the same for sure.
some of the things that we thought we would experience will not quite be that.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And when is the release? May 15th, something like that. What was the release date?
25th.
May 25th.
Yeah, 25th.
I'd be very interested to hear the story of why it was delayed in the first place, and if that has anything to do with what we're seeing right now in a lot of these images.
I hope
For
so.
especially something that was touted as a GTA 5 rival back in the day. So
27th. Sorry, 27th.
27th. Yeah, I saw those images and I was pretty sad because that game still had a ton of hype even after the delay.
Dude, at
right
the end of
with
the
it.
day, I think that it's still going to have a lot of hype because I think that PS4 and Xbox One owners will still want to play a next-gen title, and this is what
Yeah.
they'll probably go for. So,
Did you see the Batman news that came out?
No,
Do you have
what's that?
in there?
What-
The
about
Batman
no joke?
Arkham Knight
No
was
Joker?
announced.
Yeah.
No, just the fact that they announced a new game and it's only next gen.
Yeah, didn't they? And didn't they say, like, didn't they automatically say no Joker or something?
Yeah, I saw that there was that was on Reddit that Joker will not be in it, which is good. I'm glad that the big bad won't be Joker halfway through the game. There's also the Batman or the Batmobile is going to be in the game. You can actually drive, which means those environments are going to have to be a lot bigger, which is pretty exciting. And the trailer that they released is pretty cool too. Also, the images they released in the same line of thought as Watch Dogs look incredible. I hope the game actually looks like that when it comes out
Huh.
because it looks fantastic.
Nice. The last Arkham game, people are saying?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this will be the end of the trilogy with Arkham, like the end of the Rocksteady trilogy with
Right.
Asylum, City, and then Knight. Who Knight is also I think he's the antagonist, the main antagonist. Has never been in any comics ever. He's being created for this book
Oh,
or for
nice.
this game. They had a couple images of him, I think, but you didn't see much. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. It looks pretty good.
And someone might be right. Joker might still show up. Just like, ha ha.
Maybe. I hope not, though.
Um,
Also, one thing
yeah.
that did piss me off about that week,
Yeah.
in the fucking reveal trailer, you know what's at the very end? You know what's in the last 3 seconds?
What?
Pre-order now to play as Harley Quinn.
Oh, of course.
In the fucking reveal trailer week, the first thing you see about the game, pre-order now to play as Harley Quinn.
Oh,
Holy
Jesus.
shit. Fucking ridiculous.
Sony got some interesting news coming out the PR Newswire.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that.
I don't either. Jack Tretton has stepped down as president and CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment America. And the COO, Sean Layden, has been appointed the new president and CEO. I don't know if that's temporary or not. I haven't actually read through those details. He's been with the company for a long time, though. So PlayStation 4 sold pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean, especially after E3, Jack Tretton was the face for a lot of what happened during the launch of the PS4. Um, I I would, and also the other thing too is you don't leave a job like that unless you have something else lined up.
Right. And it's very possible that that's what he is going to do. I mean, I can't imagine with PlayStation finally hot on the heels of being able to gain back a good amount of market share from Microsoft in North America that wouldn't be a reasonable seat to be sitting in right now.
Yeah, and
So
especially when I'm sure
you.
he has a lot to do with that. I don't know what to think of that news, especially for like when I think of E3 and Sony, I think of Jack Tredden. I think of that voice, and I think of that that man on stage walking back and forth talking about video games. So
I was
I don't
trying
know.
to see if there was anything, you know, in terms of people saying, is there. Yeah, he is leaving on a high note. Not a lot of Sony folks have done that. So it looks like all generally very, very positive comments in like the gaming community. And I'll always remember a shit-eating grin when he released no DRM during E3. And
Yeah, what a moment that guy will have with them for the rest of
forever.
his life.
Yeah.
Being able to be the one that said that.
But congrats to him. And it'd be interesting to see what happens with the new folks in town, especially with the face of everything changing. Maybe it is the time.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. There was some other moving of employees earlier this week with the Naughty Dog removal of one of their writers, the Amy. Oh, fuck, what was her last name? I forget her last name. But there was a lot of drama surrounding that because IGN used the words "forced out" within their article.
Really? Yeah, that's what I mean. Because immediately that's kind of what your brain goes to, but that's kind of shitty that they.
Yeah, they used "forced out," and a lot of people were. They wanted to know what that meant. I don't think she ever made a comment. I don't think she's tweeted or anything since then. I know that she hadn't tweeted 10 days prior to then, but it's pretty not interesting. It's pretty shitty for her because I think she had been working on the Uncharted or Naughty Dog team for like 10 years or something. She was responsible for a lot of Uncharted 2, and I think she was solely responsible for Uncharted 3 story. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but I guess we'll know more.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Amy Hennig.
Yeah, Amy Hennig.
Amy Hennig.
I think is how you pronounce that.
So Xbox broadcasting comes this week as well, which adds to the craziness that could be Twitch this week. I didn't mention it earlier, but Major Nelson was actually streaming via it earlier.
I saw Jeff streaming, Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb last night as well.
Yeah. So I believe it's very, very soon, like next week, if I'm not mistaken.
How much do you know about it? Can I probe you with questions?
Probe me. I'll tell you what I can tell you.
I saw last night on Jeff's cast that the webcam is situated in the bottom right-hand corner. Is that user positional?
Yes.
Or so you can choose whatever corner you want?
Yes.
That's good. I like that. I also like the fact that it's not an inset graphic like the PS4 has.
Yep. Me too.
Is it always full
Actually,
screen?
I mean, I kind of like both. So if I'm not mistaken, the 360 or the Xbox One is a bit more flexible in that regard. And it's really funny, JP, right? Because people complained that they like, why isn't the Xbox One getting broadcast capabilities, blah, blah, blah. But look at what happened with just a little bit more time to work on it.
Yeah, it looks,
you know, like there's definitely a
they saw
benefit. And the fact that we did have something in place during the 360. But, yeah, like that's something that, you know, you've got to take consideration. You don't want to have a game that cuts X off and Y off. So, yeah, you can.
What I know it's 720p 30 at the highest level. Do you know what bit rate that is?
I don't know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it user controlled bit rate or are there
at this point I believe no, it's controlled via like a 3 options or so.
Like a low, medium, high. Okay.
That's something though that I could see potentially, you know, like being able to add a advanced.
Well, you know, I think the
it's obviously hardware dependent, right? Everyone needs to realize that. And
just so
that you know, like you have to think about it now and in the future. And if I'm not mistaken, a developer could just flat out say, this is what high is, or this is what medium is, or this is what low is. And that, they might actually turn it off. Maybe, they use so much of the of the system. So it's, yeah.
I think the bigger thing, to even go back to what I said, like if you're actually getting into bit rates, you should probably just be using a fucking PC to capture it in the first place. Like,
right.
You're not gonna...
It's an entry. It's a gateway to Twitch. I do believe, in fact, we've seen many people who started off on PS4 and now they are like doing PS4 streams, but they're doing more complex, pulling it in, XSplit, etc. So,
do you know how much of a strain on the system it is for streaming?
I don't know that technical
off the top of your head. Yeah,
I have no idea. All I know is that it became incredibly easier going from 360 to Xbox One, because you got to imagine too that the 360 games were like pushing that fucking thing to its core, and now it's like we have processing power. So
yeah, I'd be interested to see that. That's launching on the 11th, right? With Titanfall.
Yep.
I wonder how much. I wonder how many people are going to do that, or going to stream.
Well, let's put it in perspective.
The PS4 did what, or how much does it do?
Hold on, let me make sure the stat is released. I think it is. Hold on one second. Okay, yes. So it was reported on December 10th. December 10th, 2013. That PlayStation 4 counted for 10% of all Twitch streaming. So if you play the ABC game, JP, then technically you could probably guarantee that 10% more will go to Xbox broadcasters.
Yeah.
And I might even be willing to bet that just the way that most Xbox users are, as I talk to them generally and with grand stereotypes, they are kind of a more interactive. I don't know. Maybe but I just don't. The culture of Xbox Live seems to be more akin to streaming.
Well, I think the better statement is there's a culture of Xbox Live compared to what was a non-existent.
There you go.
PSN culture,
right.
Right. PSN was basically a service for downloading games, not a community like Xbox Live is.
So I think it'll have that same thing.
I think that'll be pretty interesting to see how that goes. I also like the fact that I was reading some tweets back and forth through a lot of people saying, like, when you go live on your Xbox One, if your friend goes live, it actually sends you a message that says so and so is broadcasting. Click here to tune in now, or like
notifications. And then you can like from your broadcast you can invite people in. It doesn't do party chat, I don't think. Like, it doesn't broadcast the party chat, but you can do invites that way and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
That would be pretty big. I think that might be the evolution, is like if you bring people in to party chat, they can hear it on the stream. Like, that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm sure there's.
That's probably all on Microsoft, though. Yeah, not on Twitch at all.
Reason for that. So, but yeah, it should be cool. I'm kind of excited to see what it does, and I always think, where's that next streamer coming from? And I think one of the consoles is definitely going to be where we find that next person.
What a game to launch, or what a day to launch with on March 11th. That's
right. Worked out pretty.
It's good. What a massive day that is for the Xbox One.
Yeah. Dude,
Titanfall streaming, like, that's going to be a big.
It's going to be a big day for them, guys. Other news is I am just going to open up the phone lines for our final 20 minutes. So anything at all, anything that we talked about, whether it's the Twitch stuff or any of the game stuff, feel free to give us a buzz. I lost my my page now. Hold on one sec. There we go. What was the other thing? I just had it right here. So Twitch has been named the official live streaming partner for E3.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I can hear myself, by the way.
You can.
Yeah. Not anymore, but
you could
I
for
could
a second. Oh, I clicked the wrong key. There we go. Now you can't. Now you can't.
I saw that. Yeah, it's good. I think that what was game trailers, were they the official one in the past
Well,
couple
I mean, I think that they were sort of doing floor coverage and stuff, but like, yeah, it's encompassing everything. So I think it'll be pretty cool. But we already got a few callers. Let's see what the people have to say. We're gonna bring Martin on first. Hello, Martin. Welcome to 8-Bits. What's up?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you fine.
Yeah, greetings from Germany. Yeah, I love your shows, guys, and congrats to your improved version 2.6.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you, GameSpot streamed Second Son yesterday, and I wanted to ask you if you saw something from it or anything.
I did not see it.
I did not. I heard that they were streaming. Someone had mentioned it in the channel. I caught only a little bit, and I saw some beautiful particle effects like I expected to see. But I did not. I jettisoned out pretty quickly. So, did you have a chance to watch a good amount of it?
No, not a good amount of it. I'm not interested in it so much because I don't have a PS4.
I gotcha.
But I'm always interested in watching new games or getting information about what's going on or something like that.
Yeah, I'm already sold on that game. Like, I personally don't need any additional information or any additional video footage. Like, in what I've seen just in screenshots and some of the moving, like, I'm very confident that this is going to be a pretty awesome title to show off what these new consoles can do. So that's probably the most exciting thing about it. I'm not expecting a story that's going to knock me on my ass and, you know, be telling all my friends about it, but I just hope that it's got awesome gameplay and it just visually has sex with my eyes. So that's what I hope for.
They released I think it was an official video of like 15 minutes of gameplay a week or two ago maybe. And it looked very much like a prettier Infamous 2, which is a pretty good sell for me because I thought Infamous 2 was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I think a lot of people need to keep in mind that like these are these are not first gen, but like think back to the Xbox 360 and think of some of its games that first came out.
Yeah. And
then think of the next wave of games that came out and how much better they were. Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to see this generation as well.
There's like some really...
Think of like how good Gears of War was when that came out compared to everything else before it on the 360. Like that is a huge fucking leap from like Cameo or whatever else.
Yeah, that's the game I was trying to think of. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, that was one of the first waves. So it'll be good. It'll look great, but whatever gets announced at E3 is going to be like the big shit. That's what everyone should be looking forward to.
I agree.
If you're wanting like a giant leap forward.
I agree. Martin, thanks for your call.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Martin.
Of course, at E3, we also need to be wary of the bullshit. Don't get watchdogged.
Yeah.
Don't get watchdogged.
Yeah, that's really shitty. Or developers could watchdog us and then release that version on the PC and it will all be okay.
And then it is okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You can reach us 909-581-8519 or Skype djWHEAT, and we'll take another one. We have got Crash on the line. Sup, Crash? Welcome to 8-Bits.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
So 2 questions. One's really quick. First one is, hold on, let me lower this window a little bit. All right, there we go. First off, when it comes to Dark Souls 2, are y'all going to be all about the PC version? Are you going to buy it on PS3, pull that thing out of your attic, and then I guess switch it out when the PC comes out?
Yeah.
What's your goal with it?
I already announced I'm going to be doing it PC earlier on the show, so I'm sticking with it. But I think JP's... You're Dustin, right, JP?
Yeah, I've got my PS3 somewhere already good to go for Tuesday. I think
it's like pulls it out of the sky. It's like, oh, there it is. It's right here.
Yeah,
and it's over on the wall. It's over on the wall with the 360. I couldn't see it.
I guess kind of what goes with that is, do y'all see any replay value? I know there is a lot of people that do, replay Dark Souls over and over, and they get, I guess, the superhero strength and whatever goes on with that. But do you all personally find any replay value in Dark Souls?
I've played Dark Souls up to like, I don't know, the third or fourth major boss, but I didn't play through it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that game for me is about like the journey once, and
Right.
once you already know it, it's a little bit less interesting to me.
I'm in the same boat as JP. For me, it's about the accomplishment of what I have just done. I will enjoy everyone else's videos of them invading people's shit.
That's where the
you know,
replayability is for me, is
Yeah.
watching everyone else.
Yeah, so that, I'll probably watch some guy defeat this dude in like 2 seconds and so, but I think that's where the replay value for me does stop. Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Okay, and then the second thing I kind of had on my mind was
Sure.
we talked about y'all talked about the Last of Us movie.
Right.
And one thing that you mentioned, DJ, was that you would like to see those characters come to life. Now, how they do it, you were on the fence about, but what you said was you'd like to see them come to life. But I would argue that whenever you're playing them, they don't feel like, I've never felt anything more alive than when I'm the one like maneuvering the character around. And if you think about games that came from, or rather movies that came from games, like I can't think of a single one except for maybe like Mortal Kombat, the first one, where I was like, okay, this is okay. I liked watching that. But do you know any movies that came from games, and are they just going to mistreat this?
Actually, I'm about to drop some knowledge, because the original Death Race is, to me, as close to a movie being based off a video game, even though there's no video game that Death Race is based off of. But I watched that movie and I'm like, like everything about it is perfect in that, like, I don't know, it just gives you this feeling like this is a video game movie. Like Death Race fucking nailed it. But outside of that, like, no, I don't. The problem is that, like, how do you take an iconic character like Mario and actually do something proper with it? Like, even look at Lego. It took them how many years to finally go, this is how we're going to make the perfect Lego movie, right? They dabbled in animation and CG and shit. But I figure with that kind of stuff, it's so hard to take these characters and to take their stories and put it into a 2-hour format. Tomb Raider failed, Resident Evil failed, Silent Hill failed. But what I think is different...
sorry, finish your thought.
Well, what I think is different about The Last of Us is that it man, how do I put this into words? I guess, like, because you had an emotional attachment to those characters, we as gamers mean that the movie would probably be more substantial to us because we already walk in with this emotional attachment. And that's where I think that they could, like, be successful with it. Where I sort of said I was on the fence is that I can't imagine them just telling the same story. Yeah. But then isn't it fucked up if they just change it all? I don't. That's why I can't figure out if I like it or hate it or like it. But what were you going to say, JP? I'm sorry.
I was going to say like, I think I was thinking of like what good video game movies are. I think Resident Evil did a pretty good job. Like, they're movies that I could sit down and watch and not just fucking be like, oh my god, this is so bad. Like,
dude, but like,
those exist.
Resident Evil it's like
it's so far
it's
from
gotten
the
to the point where it's like I watch them because they're bad. Because now I'm like, well, let's see how fucking further away they can take this from, like, the source, and they always, or let's see how they're gonna try to, bring Barry into this shit. Fuck, it's just, I don't know. Dude, believe me, I've been entertained by every Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure I got a box set over there in 3D versions and shit.
What about, wasn't the Silent Hill movie good?
No.
It was bad?
At least, I think so. I remember it being really... I don't remember finishing it. So that was for me, like, normally if I don't remember finishing a movie, I either walked out or I fell asleep, and that's
I just
generally
remember
not a good sign.
I remember seeing the skin removal portion of that movie on like repeat. I think I watched that or something.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I know. I know a lot of people were doing that for Halloween as well, so I assume they pulled it from the movie like they would from the game. But I don't think.
Pyramid Head, for sure.
Do you know if I personally don't know if it did that well. Again, I don't remember the ending, but maybe it was good.
I'm sure all the video game movies did fucking trash in terms of sale.
Well, Resident Evil did good enough. They made 10.
Oh, Resident Evil did good enough, yeah.
And I think the crazy part is that what you just said right now, a little while back when you said we as gamers would appreciate it more. At the same time, if they do wrong by a character, since we're so entrenched, I guess, in our genre or in our story, right? If they fuck up, like no one's gonna go watch it. Everyone's gonna tell their friends on Steam or on Skype or whatever, and everyone's just gonna be like, I'm not gonna go watch that.
It's very risky. It's very risky.
Yeah.
Very risky.
So it seems like a weird step.
I'm still running through movies. Did you watch Prince of Persia? That was pretty decent.
That was okay. I was kind of mad that they used a non-Persian to play the Persian guy, but sure.
Hey man, Jake Gyllenhaal was big at that when that movie came out. He was all the rage in Hollywood.
I can agree with that though. Yeah, I think that was an okay one, but even still, like I think, especially you consider the story of Prince of Persia, and then you consider the thing that got like Game of the Year, Story of the Year, etc. The Last of Us, like this just tidal wave of like feeling, emotion, love for this game that's going on, and then you're gonna try to turn that into a movie. Like so many people absolutely love that game right now, and if you try to even change the story, I imagine people are gonna be mad. If you don't change the story and you do it poorly, they're gonna be mad. Like it doesn't seem like there's a win situation in there.
So I'm watching the chat a little bit because obviously there's a lot of opinion going on in there. And, you know, first off, I'd say that it's pretty obvious that a lot of companies have just tried really hard and obviously failed as a result of trying hard. But I do have to agree that, like, there's some good source material out there that, like, I would love to see made into a movie. Someone mentioned, like, what if you just took the very basic lore of Metroid and you turn that into a movie? You know, like you don't have to like adhere to the story because Metroid is, you know, like it's been pretty generic from the beginning anyway. But you could take the lore and you could really do something. It's not like a book like Game of Thrones. It's like word for word translate, right? You could probably take franchises like that and do a lot more with them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Halo miniseries was pretty decent, although that wasn't a movie. Forward Until Dawn, that was pretty good. I watched that and enjoyed it. I think that the WoW movie probably has the most potential right now to be good because of who they have signed on to direct it.
Yeah.
But who knows, when it comes out, it might be the worst fucking thing ever. Like, they have a hard time because they have to basically take what Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings and make that world believable, like, but do that with WoW, do that with Azeroth. Like,
that seems
you have to make that world fucking believable. Otherwise, if you don't, it's just gonna look shitty. It's gonna look fucking campy. It's gonna look very amateur.
Don't know about that.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that game has fanatics like far more than any other game.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be huge. It'll be huge for sure.
It'll be interesting, but it is interesting to see this shift where all of a sudden the game stories have become significant enough where people are going to chase down these stories and try to make movies of them.
In Hollywood right now, or they are like grasping at straws for ideas. These people who are like, yo, man, we can make a fucking universe out of anything. Well, I mean, movie making's catching up to that.
Yeah.
You know, look at Gravity. You could not make that movie even 10 years ago the way that they made it and look like fucking, it's convincing that they filmed it in space. They had to have. Yeah. So that changes a lot of stuff. So why not chase after these guys who obviously are coming up with all sorts of new ideas when they can anyway. So Crash, thanks for your call, man.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Crash.
All right. Let's take that down. We're about reaching our time limit here. It'll be. I'm really curious about that WoW movie, JP.
So am I, man. I liked what the director has done. Like, I loved Moon. But it was Moon, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a science fiction. Science fiction flick. But who knows, man? That and to be honest, Blizzard's working very close with that.
Yep.
Whole thing. So I mean, it's got the South Park thing going for it, where the creators are working closely with the development of the movie. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe it'll be the next fucking best thing.
I was just looking up. I didn't know they've actually revealed actors already.
Have they really? I didn't know that. Any big names?
Well, I'm trying to load the IMDb page right now, but it looks like
I hope they're all complete unknowns.
It looks like there are quite a few unknowns.
Glad to hear that.
World, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see. The IMDb is being really shitty. Let's see. The film will star Ben Foster, Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, Dominic Cooper. He's probably the only one. Toby Kebbell and Rob Kaczynski.
I don't know any of those names.
The film portrays the origin story of the initial encounters between the humans and the orcs.
It's Medivh in them, right?
With an emphasis upon emphasizing both the Alliance and Horde sides of the conflicts, featuring characters such as Durotan and Lothar. The film will take place in a variety of locations established in the video game series.
Oh, so Medivh's not even in that. I thought Medivh was the main character. Huh. Because that's all Warcraft 1, right? It was Medivh. So I guess they're going prior to that. I don't know.
The
I hope
film
they
was
premiere.
originally scheduled to release on December 18, 2015, but following the announcement of the coinciding release of Star Wars Episode 7, the release was pushed back the following year. But it began on January 13, 2014. Yeah, wow. So they're filming this thing. Crazy.
Who's Ben Foster? Who has he been in?
Ben Foster has been in.
Oh my God, he was in He was my favorite fucking person in 310 to Yuma.
Oh, okay, yeah, 310.
The fucking
he
not
was in
the
X-Men,
sidekick.
Recently.
I guess you could call him a sidekick. He was the fucking best guy in that entire movie, man. Yeah. And then at the end, the fucking ending and how he gets his end is just fucking so shitty. I was so upset with how that movie dealt with him. Anyways, sorry.
That's okay.
He's good. I like him. I like him as an actor.
Oh, so the IMDb page only credits the actors. It doesn't say what roles they're playing. So there you go. All right, let's wrap.
Yeah, Medivh has to be in the movie because he opened the portal. Anyways, sorry, I don't want to get into WoW lore. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Did you ever see Doom? Did you sit through Doom?
Nope.
I did. What a fucking bad idea that was.
Yeah.
The movie was it was decent. It was watchable. And then they got to the point where they went first person, Wheat.
I know. That was like supposed to be the big
that was the big thing.
It's just like the game.
This is also at the height of 3D in cinema, so everyone was like, we've got 3D, we're gonna do fucking so much, we're gonna make so much money, and it was just so weird. It was
No, but that was like red blue 3D still back then.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, that's.
It was pretty early on in the 3D world. Yeah. It felt like I was watching a like an FMV game where like you would turn the corner and see like two people on a green screen.
Right.
Oh God, that movie.
Yeah, that was Carl Urban and The Rock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that because I watched it and it was terrible. All right, cool. We're wrapping.
Let's wrap. What you got coming up?
I don't know if I'll stream after this. I'm pretty exhausted at this point. We'll see. Regardless, if I don't stream right after this, I'll stream whenever I wake up and finish Castlevania. Tomorrow we've got R&D. We moved it back to 4:00 EST, back to normal time. It'll probably be a shorter show than usual. We're gonna have the end of season number 2. Then we'll do like a reunion show, talk about the rule set that we played, and of course Ryan's going to be joining us for that as well. If you missed the last season, all of those VODs have been pushed out. I think maybe the last one's coming out in 50 minutes on youtube.com/itmeJP. So if you don't Or sorry, if you haven't watched it, you can go check it out over there. Sunday will be Solemn at 8 o'clock EST. So if you want to check that out, you can on twitch.tv/itmeJP. And then I think that is it for this week. I think that's it. If you have a game, one of the things that kind of has come to fruition on 8-Bits was this idea of pitching a game, and I took that idea and turned it into a video series over on YouTube. So if you have a game you want to pitch to me, and it could be any game, new or old, as long as it's available on the PC in some form of digital download, give 234-248-6357 a call, leave a voicemail. Make sure it's actually a good voicemail. Like, think about what you're going to say before you call. Because I do take the audio from these calls and put it at the start of the video. So you want to sound intelligent on some form or some level instead of just gibber.
Hey, Dr. JP, I got me into the game you wanted to be playing.
I felt bad because there's been a couple where you can tell that they rehearsed it in their head, and then they'll like start a sentence and they'll start with like the first couple of words, and then they'll just stop.
Hang up.
No, they don't hang up. They just start talking again. And it's the same sentence. And I'm like, well, I can edit that myself. I mean, that's not a big deal. He actually paused appropriately enough to where I could cut it and make it sound
I fucked
like
up.
one
Okay,
sentence.
here we go.
Yeah,
That is too
yeah.
funny.
Think about what you're going to say before you call in. And yeah, so far I've enjoyed all games that I've played. Papers, Please, Dust, Elysian Tale, and Star Control 2. And we've got I've got Rock of Ages on deck right now. I'm going to be playing through that pretty soon because someone called in and suggested that. And also keep it under a minute. Don't go 5 minutes. I can't do anything with that much words. It was like 300 words. I can't do any. I'm just not going to do that. It's too much. It's too much. So apart from that, I don't have much.
Word. I will probably be streaming later tonight for sure. I think I'll probably try to finish South Park if I can. And then tomorrow, R&D, I'll be streaming before that. Got an AHGL match on Sunday. Rigged Sunday is still on. We'll just be doing some other stuff. We'll still have giveaways because everyone will be able to win in these giveaways. So, and I'll probably be playing some Banner Saga that day as well. The guys over at Stoic, I want to give them a shout out. They reached out after I posted my Banner Saga video, and they were like, hey, if you want some keys to give away, here you go. So I'll be doing a few of those on Sunday for everyone.
Nice.
Everyone. Well, if you're a U.S., apparently if you live in the U.S., but
You
as far
have
as
to
I'm
be
concerned,
US.
everyone in my chat is U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be on that Sunday. They will be. So,
See, you're already cutting the corners. You're
I
already cutting the corner.
I actually can't wait for tomorrow's R&D. Looking forward to
The
that.
epic conclusion.
Yeah, I gotta find out if, I think some material I might have to come up with some material.
Well, you already got a song to sing about me, Wheat, because you told me you would sing a song if I did what I did, and I did it.
Oh God, that's right, you did. Holy shit, Wyman, stop making these promises I can't keep. All right,
Yeah.
so you could probably expect some singing on R&D tomorrow then.
Nice.
God, I'm so glad that you reminded me about that, JP.
I would have put you on the spot.
Oh God, if you would have put me on the spot, I would have been devastated. Now that I can think about it a little bit,
Nice.
it'll be great. So next week, I think we should have an 8-Bits, right? The following week, you're out of town, or is it? Am I getting it backwards?
March 21st, I'm out of town.
Yeah, that's the GDC week, so there won't be an 8-Bits.
Yeah,
in 2
next
weeks.
week, 8-Bits, and then the week after that, no 8-Bits.
But we will.
We're back to the 21st.
Yep.
Or wait, no, the 28th.
Yep.
Yeah.
We will be. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in to 8-Bits. Appreciate you coming by and calling in and leaving comments, contributing to the show as well. To the 10% that voted that they liked stealth parts in games, you're liars, you're filthy, dirty liars, and we don't like you anymore. But next week, we'll like you again. So,
Exactly. Before you end it, I think the
Yes.
show will probably be like, we talked about at the start of the show, how every time we do a new show, it's a new version.
Right.
I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be messing with that even more.
Yes, we are.
Maybe we'll just wait till we get back on the 28th to do that. But I think the 28th is going to be a big show regardless because of who's going to be on. because we can't do it 21st. So hopefully that lines up with their schedule.
Perfect.
So,
All
yeah.
right. All right. Dirty,
I don't got
filthy,
anything
10% liars. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us on 8 Bits. We'll see you next time. Peace.